Good evening, everyone. I am super excited that the Pathways Champions team is here to talk about pathways for the unsigned. If you're still a little unsure about how to choose a path or why you should choose a path, and then how to get moving forward by giving your icebreaker, you have three awesome, amazing Pathways champions here just for you to take you through the steps one by one and move you forward. So I am excited that they are here, and I will turn it back over to Damon.
And thank you so much, Program Quality Director Kari Evans. Up next, I would like to introduce the current Pathways Champion, how would I call you director? Pathways Champion Chair, the immaculate and the great Douglas Myers. Good evening, sir. Welcome, welcome.
Good evening. Thank you, Damon. Thank you, Kari. Being a Pathways Champion Chair is pretty easy because I have great Pathways champions who know how to help and are ready to pitch in. So it's been a absolutely wonderful year so far volunteering at the district level. Really, really neat stuff. And I get excited about seeing people make it through Pathways and getting that digital credential in a competency or in proficiency. I want everyone to get one. That way, as we're sliding out of this, we'll call it the late unpleasantness of COVID, you'll be able to say, hey, I'm a better speaker. I'm a presentation master. I'm a visionary communicator. It's something that I hope everyone can do coming out of this. So thank you very much. Back to you, Damon.
Thank you so much, Mr. Myers. And up next, the beautiful, the talented, and one of my fellow Pathways champions. Let me introduce everyone to Marcia Williams. Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Damon. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. I'm excited about your Pathways journey. And if you're new to Toastmaster, your journey as well. Sit back, relax, just listen to all that we have to share with you. We're here to guide you, walk with you, and every question that you think comes to mind, they are good questions. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. And last, and certainly not least, my name is Damon Edwards, and I am the Pathways mascot. I hit the ground running when Pathways was introduced because me and Pathways are the same Toastmaster age. We have grown up together. We've played in the fields together. We have excelled together. And I absolutely love everything about online and education, being able to be on the go and live today and still excel and succeed and be given all these different types of products in this fashion. So, excuse me, I'm a big advocate for Pathways. So with that being said, I currently have passed my innovative planning path as of the beginning of this year. Took me 3 years, woohoo. And I am currently in my second level of leadership development. So what are those? What did I just describe? I just described two, well, I didn't describe them, I named them, sorry. 2 of the paths, of the 11 paths that you have the opportunity to either choose yourself, or you have the opportunity of allowing the great Toastmasters International to provide it for you based off of a questionnaire. So I'm very interactive. So although you're not required to be on camera, and those that are really appreciate it, I do want to make sure that we all are answering questions, jumping in, taking the road with us. So what I would like for Latanya, Crystal, and Ann to do first is, if you are able to, I would like for you to pull up your browser, and we're going to go to D44. I'm trying to do too many things at once. There we go. D44 Toastmasters.org. That is D44 Toastmasters.org. What is this website? This website, as if you can't not talk to mine. This website, as you can see, is our district's website. Now, we've already, as Toastmasters, been taught of Toastmasters.org. This is where I love to start with D44, with anybody in D44, because it has everything that you need. And if you are somebody like myself, you've probably already started looking around. So what I'm going to do real quickly, because I confirmed that everyone is on the page, I'm going to go ahead and share it real before you guys. So this is our front page. For this training, for this seminar, for this discussion, ladies, if you can, right down here at the bottom, don't click on it yet, but you can see Pathways Resources. Does everybody see it? Nice. If you go to the top row, you see welcome, club members outside the club. If you look under club members, there's another access portal to get to your Pathways journey. So let's all click on Pathways journey. Never one to disrespect intelligence. So I know that everybody can read, but I do want to make sure, or I did want to make sure that I let everybody know up front, although you can go through Toastmasters.org, and highly suggested, you want to be the guru of that website, but why not travel to a place geared towards you specifically as a D44 Toastmaster? So on this page, again, I'm sure we've all scrolled down. If you look here, as I said earlier, there are 11 specialized learning paths to choose from. It took me 3 years to do one. That's 33 years worth of Toastmaster journey, if it took 3 years to do every single path one at a time. Nothing but experience and opportunity for a lifetime, right? When you think about it in that way. Online content, again, it allows you to take a journey, learn, excel, and succeed on your own schedule. It's not a timed event, right? It's not where you need to beat me, where we're in competition. Content is available in multiple languages. Amazing, right? I mean, to me, I love it. I'm hoping everybody else is having an awesome experience, not just seeing it, learning it, and when you move on. But before we get to the last chunk, because that's when we're gonna, be bringing in Miss Marcia and our great guru, Doug, I want you to scroll down to where it says, which path will you choose? In this area right here, we now have, unlike when pathways began, you now have the opportunity of being able to delve, to go research, to go look, to go verify, is that the path that I want to be in? Is that the right path for me at this present moment? When I started, I took, which we'll see in a moment, excuse me, I took the quiz, the assessment, and let it choose my path for me. And it, to me, it did. I may not be that on-time guy, and I'm learning every day, but I can plan. You know, I have been able to enhance my ability to formulate an event, which is what I love to do. I love to do this. I love to be in front of the camera. I love to host, and innovative planning was a great stepping point for me. So let's go ahead and we can all do this together. Just want to show you this real quickly. Let's click on innovative planning. So each of these paths, when you click on the one that you would like to research or learn more about, it gives you basically an, I don't want to say synopsis, but a beginning. You know, it's letting you know, for instance, here, proposals, managing projects, connect with others to accomplish goals. Innovative planning is for individuals who would like to increase and excel and succeed in these areas, among others, of course. And once you read your intro, let's call it that, it then will allow you to access what I was talking about earlier. If you want to, you can click on that. And this is not only, I think we talked about this at a last Zoom. Here is innovative planning on a document. I believe it's 2 pages on a document. So not only, again, do you have the ability to look ahead at what you're going to need to complete on this path, but you also have a hard copy for those of us that like to print. You have a digital copy for those of us that know how to turn a PDF into a fillable document. And you can track yourself through your journey. You can get signatures from your evaluator from every speech that you've made. That way, when it's time to submit for your award, you know for a fact, without having to go through any other reporting, you did all that from day one. So I wanted to make sure that we went through that first. You would have to hit the back button. You know, sometimes a link will take you to a different window. Want to make sure you pay close attention to that as you go through different journeys with Toastmasters, period. There are some links that will take you to another browser and some that will take you to the same browser. So a lot of times we tend to hit the X at the top and we close out everything, got to start all over. So I want to just slide that in there real quickly. And the last thing for our intro to pathways is I want you to scroll on down further to the bottom. And this is the reason why I brought us here first. This entire page is basically everything that we're talking about right now. And we will talk about in future and have in past. We have the workshop that was done last year. It's 2 hours. It's something you can sit down. I say, what's the word? When you send it to a TV or, you know, forward it to your TV, sit back, have some popcorn, and just watch the Champions workshop. It actually was very fun to put on. I wanted, before we do the Pathways Mentor Program, if you go down to the bottom, these are slide decks. So these are ways for you also to jump in and say, well, let me go look at what was taught during the potpourri section. Everything that's listed here, these materials, they were all covered in the workshop. And the last thing before we move on, I want to put the bug in your ear. Once you get past, if I'm not mistaken, Doug, it's level 2, your Pathways mentor program opens. This is for, anyone who wants to be a better mentor, anyone who wants to be a better mentee, anyone who wants to learn a better way of effectively coaching and mentoring another individual, another Toastmaster. It's separate, which you'll see in the future sessions. So make sure you join us. But it's a separate program that we want to make sure all of us really delve into. It's lengthy and worth it. All right, so ladies, and gentlemen, we're going to move on to how do I take on a path? So if you go to now www.toastmasters.org, and we could have went from here, but I want to make sure, you got to put an S in Toastmasters, everybody. My apologies. I wanted to make sure that we, it's one thing that I like to always do is keep D44 and Toastmasters, not just separate, but also in your head. Make sure you have the knowledge of both of them. You're going to both of them to research, to find out, to congratulate, to see what's on the calendar. Learn the difference between the two, but know the necessity of knowing both of them. So I recognize some of the ladies from the last time, so I know you know already how to access Pathways. But what we're going to delve more into today is, again, how do I choose my path? How do I start this journey? So, well, before we get to him, Marcia, even though they already know, help us navigate to get to the place where you want to share your screen, or do you want me to do it and you just tell me? Oh, you're on mute, sorry. I think you're nodding, telling me that I could do it. You're on mute. There you go.
Okay. Yes, you could go ahead and continue to share your screen. So you would go to, let's see. I have 2 screens, so let me go back to yours. All right.
I guess I just cheated.
If you've not selected if you're saying if they've not selected one. So to take the assessment, you would go to Pathways. Just bear with me, because I'm not able to see your screen. 1 second, here we go. All righty, there's several ways you can go, but let's click on Pathways. It will be grayed out. It says, choose a path. All right, you click on that. And here it says English, it defaults to that. And if you want to print, here's where you can decide who should select digital copies or printed materials. But just bear in mind, you can always print. If you select digital, you can always print the information. So that's what you'll select. So you'll continue. It won't allow me to. All right, okay. It won't allow me to since I've already selected This is where you would go. 1 second. All right, it won't allow me to move forward. Oh, you're great. All right, thank you. I have 3 paths. So here you would, are you at the, take the assessment? I'm trying to enlarge your screen, but I'm not able
Yes,
to.
ma'am. We're on the pathways assessment where it asks you again to choose a
Mhm.
language and then to start.
Right. And it takes about 10 minutes to go through the questionnaire.
Nice. And I think what we should do real quickly, Marcia, I'm sure you agree,
Mhm.
is we're going to go ahead and go through it, see if it allows us to, so we can demonstrate.
Right.
And Crystal, and I'm missing somebody because it won't show everybody, and Latanya.
Tanya. Mhm.
There we go. I made it bigger.
No worries.
We're going to have you ladies answer the assessment. What's wrong, Crystal? You okay? You're on mute. You're on mute.
You're on mute.
I think she says where she's supposed to be. Am I reading lips well? So we have went to Toastmasters.org, went to Pathways at the top, went to Choose a Path, which should have been in the center at the top. And it would have taken you to this screen. Let's go ahead and go back real quick.
Are you there yet, Crystal? Or you need a moment? Mhm.
Can you unmute?
Okay.
The host can unmute her.
Yeah, that's what I just tried to do. I think it booted her out. I hope not. No, there she goes. Oh, we don't, it's not turned on for here, but it does allow me to ask to unmute. But do you see on your Zoom the microphone? It should have a line across it.
Lower left-hand corner.
Thank you. Bless your heart. Well, if you, can you see the chat? Are you able to put something in the chat? Uh-oh. Well, we don't want you to miss out. I wish I could take control of your computer. On Teams, I just take control of your computer. But let's ask this, and we can do the nod and shake. Are you on the Toastmasters.org website?
Okay, can you
Oh,
hear
there she
me?
is. Yay.
Yes. Okay.
You worked that out. Toastmaster.
Meanwhile, I had a text message from somebody that asked me if this was Toastmasters because they're interested in joining.
Bring them in.
So that's why. Okay. So I'm down at where choose a path. Is that where I'm supposed to be?
Awesome. Now on this page, or where it was choose a
It says
path?
number 1, choose a path, select your preference.
I think that's right. Let me make sure, because. So it should have been, oh, yeah, sorry. And then below that was select your path language and scroll down. Okay. So what we did with Marcia was we learned that you can acquire printed materials, but always remember, if you choose the digital resources, you can also print those off.
Yes,
And
I
then
heard that.
Okay. And then
I was, okay, let me ask you something. Is this program, a pathways program, or is that what the purpose was, to see pathways, how pathways worked?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, we're basically today in this particular Zoom, we're basically learning how to choose a path and get started on our icebreaker.
okay. So for the newcomers in our meetings, we've been showing them how to do that.
Good job. Good job.
So that's what it is to go in and how to pick a path.
Correct. Or allow the online assessment to choose for you.
To choose for them. Thank you. Okay, that clarifies it a little because, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, don't need to apologize. You're totally fine. We always one team, one dream. Well, we just went and selected digital resources, which opened up the bottom two areas, which me and Crystal were just speaking about. And that's viewing all of the options or taking the assessment. And we're going to take the assessment. Oh, I clicked it. And then you click continue. And that's when that box will come back up here and everybody can see this box, right?
Yes.
So let's go ahead and get started. So the first question is going to be for Ann.
All right.
Going to select 3 topics that you are interested in learning about from the list below. There's public speaking, coaching, speech writing, project planning, leadership, negotiation. Listen to all these options. Networking, change management, time management. You know, I clicked that twice. Motivating others, and interpersonal communication. And which 3 do you choose?
I am going to choose interpersonal communication, time management, and change management.
Awesome. Thank you. And Latanya, after choosing your 3 topics, you then are asked which of the following topics is the most related to the personal and professional. Let's say that again. Personal and professional. That is inside and outside of Toastmasters. Your goals that brought you to Toastmasters. That's your why. Why did you join Toastmasters?
Interpersonal.
All right. And Miss Reeves,
Yes.
after you chose your topic that was most related to your personal and professional goals, it then says learning about blank will help you significantly in your personal and professional life. So of change management, time management, and interpersonal communication, which one would help you more significantly in your personal and professional life?
The third one,
Interpersonal communication?
yes.
Thank you again. We're back to you, Miss Ann. So you chose, and that was your very first one, right? It's a full circle. I often initiate conversation with people I don't know well. Do you agree?
Whoa. Okay. I strongly agree.
Nice. So Latanya, even if you don't strongly agree, you do in this case. So now that you strongly agree that you often initiate conversation, working in a team is a good opportunity for you to understand yourself better. Do you agree, disagree? How do you feel?
Agree.
And I want to point out something real quickly. During every path, twice do you take an assessment of yourself and your experience and how what you're doing currently in that path is pertaining to your real life. Let's call Toastmasters the TV world and your real life is outside, right? This is actually helping you remember that or learn or understand it. We've taken a lot of these in our lives, I'm sure. So always, always, always be completely honest with yourself. This is very much private, even though we're broadcasting it right now and being recorded, but this is very much private when you're taking it yourself. Nobody is seeing it. It's not generating reports. This is specifically for your learning experience. All right, so she agrees. And Ms. Reeves, are you
Yes,
generally cautious about accepting new ideas?
I, I would tend to disagree on that,
And that's okay. That's okay.
only because I've seen that people who have new ideas, let me just get the people who have new ideas shake the boat a little bit and things change a little bit if they have new ideas, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Wait,
Sorry, I'm distracted. I'm trying to recruit this new Toastmaster member that I have on chat.
I'm not mad at you. That's what. Well, you know, we'll bug you just a little bit because we need that. We're gonna get that member NV44. I'm not mad at you. But thank you, and you're helping with what I just said. You know, that is your thought process. You know, many people are cautious. You know, if you come in with a new idea and you shake the boat up a little bit, are we going to be moving in a right trajectory for what we're currently doing? In some scenarios, that might not be. You know, you might need to be cautious. I know me, I'm all in. You know, let's do it. But you know, we all differ. We all think differently. Again, you're just helping to prove what this assessment is. It's personal. All right, Miss Ann, while giving a speech, you get so nervous that you forget facts that you really know.
Disagree.
Oh, I like that. And Latanya, in conversation, you talk about things which are of interest to both yourself and the other person.
Gonna rock with unsure.
Valid. And VPM.
Yes, I do.
I seek out new ways to do things, Miss Reed.
Strongly agree.
Oh, that was for Crystal, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You okay? You must be the VPM for real. I was calling her because she's recruiting. Crystal, do you seek out new ways to do things?
I agree. You want me to expand on that?
No, you're okay. Thank you, though. Also, I want to jump in and say, if you look at the top, it tells you how much that you're completing. You get to see that a lot everywhere. It helps you with one of our options today, time management. All right, and once I set an interpersonal communication goal for myself, I know the steps to take to achieve it.
Disagree.
I do too, even today. I'm still learning. Latanya, engaging in a group discussion with new people makes you nervous.
Strongly disagree.
I know that's right, because what are we doing now?
Strongly.
We're still new, right? Oh, you said strongly?
Strongly. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I like to get involved in group discussions, Crystal.
Agree, strongly agree.
I was gonna say somebody's like, you better not. We're doing it right now. I know how to respond because I am perceptive and attentive to others' behavior. And
Agree.
all right, Latanya, I seek out leadership opportunities.
I disagree. They just seem to follow me somehow.
I know that's right.
I strongly disagree. I don't seek them out. They follow me.
Nice. And I'll even say, if you are not actively looking, yet you're taking the right steps that you know would lead to leadership opportunities, are you not seeking? Conundrum. Halfway there. Crystal, I adapt my communication behavior to meet others' expectations.
I'm unsure. Well,
Do we change ourselves and how we speak to people based on what is expected of everybody else or what we think is expected? Do you adapt? Do you meld into? Like, for instance, for me, when I train at work, after
mhm.
one time of meeting somebody, I can tell, thank you, the Lord, I praise him for that, but I can tell their learning experience. Like, I can tell that there's going to be auditory. I can tell that they're visionary. I can tell that they're kinesthetic. And that's how I know how to complete their training. So I'm not going to go over book words with somebody who has to do. I'm gonna have them read it. I'm gonna have them, you know what I mean? So that's what I get from this in terms of communication. And while speaking, you are aware of how others are reacting to what you're saying.
Strongly agree.
I'm not. I just talk. People be laughing at me and probably think I'm a clown sometimes, and I'm just steady going, Great, great, great. And LaTanya, you feel relaxed when giving a speech?
Sometimes, so I'll go with unsure.
I can relate. Crystal, are you reluctant to adopt new ways of doing things until you see them working for other people around you?
I agree with that. I'm not one to jump in right away on the bandwagon and that when things are changing, but I do like to observe how it's playing out around me.
I love that. That's the type of person I have to have around me, because I go, like I said, I jump right in. You got to have that balance. And you prefer to be a team member than a team leader?
Disagree.
All right, we get in there. LaTanya, you show your involvement in conversation both non-verbally and verbally.
Strongly agree.
Crystal, you use a wide range of behaviors, including self-disclosure and wit. Well, that's me, to adapt to others.
Agree.
All right, we're at the 80% mark, and you make eye contact with your audience whenever you present a speech.
Strongly agree.
Love it. I think we all know base number one in Toastmasters, at the 80% mark, you make eye contact with your audience. Notice how I'm looking at my camera light when I said that, just to punch home Zoom. Everybody is sitting over here on my computer, but this is where you are. So I wanted to always do that, especially during contest season, because anytime you have an opportunity to be on Zoom and do a contest, this is where you should be looking at all times. We love to look at the audience. I know I've done it a couple times during tonight, but I want to punch that home because, like we all agreed, I saw everybody nod. Looking at the individual you're speaking with, your audience, is the most important thing to do when speaking publicly. And LaTanya, I show my understanding of others by reflecting their feelings back to them.
Agree.
Crystal, ordinarily, are you very calm and relaxed in conversations?
Agree.
And are you not sure what to do with your hands while you're giving a speech?
Strongly disagree.
All right, I think we only got a couple more. LaTanya, are you flexible enough to adapt to others' communication styles?
Agree.
That's corporate America right there. All right, and why is it not moving? Oh, that must have been the last one. So we all have generated the perfect Toastmaster, an amalgamation of Anne, Latanya, and Crystal. And this Toastmaster was given, look at these options, not one, not two, but it gave you the ability to see what's recommended, 3 options, notice here, recommended, and then the ability to compare those to all the others. So it's very much saying to yourself, am I the type of person that can go look at all of these up front and compare them and then choose? Or would I like Toastmasters to choose them for me, give me recommendations, and I still have the opportunity to choose engaging humor if I wanted to? So of these 3, I believe we're back to Ann. Or are we back to you, Ann?
I think it was Crystal.
Okay. Crystal, so after we just went through this assessment, Toastmasters International is suggesting that we either take team collaboration, motivational strategies, or effective coaching. Of these 3, is there one that you're geared towards? What's speaking to you?
Effective coaching, and I think I actually had selected that in my pathways. So that stands out as the one I would go with.
Nice. And how about you, Ann?
I would go with motivational strategies
And why would you go with motivational strategies?
because just because of the role that I play at work, I'm starting in on some new projects and I need the team building.
And are you in a corporate club?
Yes, I am.
Gotcha. Speaking of that real quickly, Latanya and Crystal, are you in corporate clubs?
I'm not.
Okay, good. I like to have the meld, around me. And then Latanya, of those 3, do any of those speak to you?
Yeah, I would choose motivational strategies because that ties into why I joined in the first place.
Nice. So that lets us know Toastmasters might know a little thing about us. They might be good for us. It might be something that has been presented to me in my journey that is going to work out in my favor, right? So I just want to ask one last question before we move on of the 3 young ladies. It recommended the 3, right? But it still showed you all 11. So Crystal, would you still choose team collaboration after, no, sorry. You chose team collaboration and you get the opportunity to see the others. Would you like to compare or would you stick with team collaboration? And you can stick with these. Just want you to know, you don't have to, for Zoom. And you got a little straggle down there, visionary.
Yes. Well, when I looked through them, now the innovative planning sort of hops out, that might be a bit of a challenge, but also could be very rewarding.
I love that you're doing this for Zoom. You are an amazing individual for this today. You are doing amazing because you're bringing up and you're doing exactly what those of us that weren't able to join. Those are the questions. Those are the thought processes that people are having right now. And those are the reasons, in my opinion, why many of us are not taking our path, are not engaging in our paths, are not jumping into this journey. That fear or that, well, I don't know just yet. And if they're like me, by the time you decide, it's time to go to bed. And it's time to go to work, and then it's time to start over, so what I do like is the fact that you said it may be a challenge, but it may be rewarding. And anytime that there's a maybe in a situation like this, to me, I'm the type of person that I say, then that means I need to go there because I'm spending my time grinding gears about it. So let's go there. But then there's other individuals who would say, well, that maybe means I might not be successful. But again, let's talk about, or let's think about why we joined Toastmasters. So I just wanted to give you that opportunity. What we're going to do, because two individuals had chosen today, is we're going to go ahead and say our baby Toastmaster that we all created today selected motivational strategies. So let's learn more about this particular path. Helps you build your skills as a powerful and effective communicator. You will work through projects that focus on how to build connections with others, understand the principles of motivation, and successfully lead small groups to accomplish tasks. The motivational strategies path culminates in a comprehensive team building project that brings all of your skills together, including public speaking. So let's look at the projects. These right here are the 5 levels of motivational strategies. When you get into your path, you have, I believe they all have 5 levels. Notice how once you pass the first 2, as we learned earlier about the mentorship program opening up, look what else opens up. Elective projects. I just real quickly want to show you level 3 in here, what their elective, we're not going to read them all, but what the electives are, such as understanding vocal variety. How many times have you heard somebody trying to talk to you and they just sound like this the whole entire time, and it's just so annoying? You're like, what? Or even better, what's the guy that does that commercial with red eyes? Like, what are you doing? Wake up. You know what I mean? That's vocal variety. You know, you want to make sure that you are putting your all and your emotions into what you're saying. Know your sense of humor. There's many of us that just no sense of humor at all. That doesn't mean that they don't have a sense of humor. They just don't know their sense of humor, and we don't either, right? And using presentation software, which is what we're doing here. Zoom is presentation software. You've got PowerPoint presentation software. See how that interconnects with anything that you could be doing outside of Toastmasters. And they get better. They get better. You get up to prepare to speak professionally. Wow, right? Like learning to moderate a panel discussion. Like these are a lot. Create a podcast. How about this one? Manage online meetings. You know, we're all have, well, not all of us. Some of us are hybrid. Some of us are now meeting together again. Congratulations to you. But you know, it's an online meeting. So Toastmasters Pathways, as you can tell, and this is what we really want to sell to our club members. It's not helping you with just Toastmasters. Toastmasters isn't just helping you with Toastmasters. They don't gain, you know, well, they gain $45, but they don't gain. You know, you are the one that is gaining. And to finish this out, this is what we're here for, to learn how to choose a path, which we just did, to learn how to say, I do have the right and ability to learn, to have the knowledge that we do have the right and ability to choose ourselves, to understand that this is our journey, our individual journey, and to get started and embark on what's going to really be one of the most powerful things to happen in your life, because we're all here to grow. We're all here to be better. So I want to take you back to D44. And you don't have to go here with me necessarily. And it all starts with the icebreaker. So as it states here, just so you're aware, every path begins with the icebreaker speech to ease tension between you and speaking in front of an audience. Take comfort in knowing everyone you will deliver this speech to has been right where you are. Club members mentor, encourage, inspire, and motivate each other to continue taking necessary steps to walk more and more confident down their own pathway. And I say this to any individual who has not yet taken their icebreaker. Remember, the icebreaker is just that. You're breaking the ice. It is a speech about yourself. So many individuals have I seen reading, and I'm like, you're reading about yourself? Seems kind of conceited. It just, there's nothing, I just feel at this point in a Toastmasters journey, if you're here to learn how to start pathways and your first speech in every path, so even when you start over on your next path, it all starts with an icebreaker. That icebreaker is about yourself. I wonder if I don't think it will. Yeah, okay. So we're going back to where we were at the beginning on our sheet that we didn't print off. Level 1, icebreaker. That is one of the few shorter speeches, 4 to 6 minutes. And when you go into your path, it will give you everything that you need. I did not go that route because the encouragement here is to show you how to start your journey. I wear a 13 shoe, not a 7, not an 8 or a 10. I can't put my feet in your shoes. You have to go put your feet in the shoes and walk. So what we want to do after this, even if you have already embarked on your path, I just want to, before I let Michael, because I kind of took over this whole thing, and I'm sorry, Doug and Marcia, but I want you to go back to your icebreaker, or if you're starting new, open up the icebreaker, go through each page of that path, and make sure that you remember it's all about you, your journey, and no one on this call or in this world can tell you anything about your journey. They can only enhance or take away from. That's the biggest thing I can leave with anybody I meet about pathways. This is yours. There's no A, there's no B, there's no 20%, there's no F, there's no fail. You can only succeed as you want to succeed. So with that being said, I want to make sure that Doug, our great and powerful Oz, to engage and speak, basically have learned how to access pathways again, how to choose our own path, how to let Toastmasters provide options, and that every path starts with the icebreaker and what that icebreaker is. And with that being said, Mr. Myers, you have control. Thank you, ladies, for allowing me to speak.
Lon, thank you very much. What's really neat about Toastmasters is every single meeting, whether it be Zoom or in person, you learn something. And usually you learn a lot. And that's a neat phenomenon. Damon was so gracious and so patient and so thorough in his presentation that it was genuinely neat to hear and see how he presented all the information. Just really good stuff. And it was so thorough and again, so considerate. And it's just neat stuff. And again, I learned things from him that I did not know and I didn't have in my particular presentation when I give a similar Pathways champion exhortation to get people to go get on Pathways and enjoy earning that particular credential. I can't emphasize how efficient Toastmasters is. My pitch to everybody is that it has the highest ROE of anything you'll do. And you can tell this to other people, the highest return on effort. You put in a little bit of effort, you get a lot of return. And just as Damon had explained, and I'm sure Marcia, when she does her presentations, you show folks, all you got to do is click here, the information is there. You give a few speeches and you will find yourself exhilarated with the skill of better public speaking, better communication, better presentations. It's just neat stuff. And I so appreciate Marcia and Damon and Kari and Latonya and Ann and I think she had to leave earlier. It was wonderful having you all here tonight. Thank you so much. I'll defer over to Marcia. Do you have anything to add? Was there
Not
anything
at
that
all.
you can
Thank you, Doug. Marcia Williams. Now, I think you ladies have had an opportunity with hearing and being involved. It was so interactive. So do you think you learn a lot with the interaction that you had with Damon? Did it help greatly? Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes, it did.
Yes, it's not just a trainer simply saying something. And as he mentioned, this is the start of your journey. It's all about you. As I noted in the chat, it's skill building. I'm actually working on motivational strategies. And one of the things, for example, that I'm interested in is emotional intelligence. That's the next project. And I'm a little cerebral, so I'm doing all the research to see and learn about myself. So did you think Toastmasters would enable you to do that? Absolutely. So this is a good start. So whatever path you choose, you get out of it what you put in. But your journey is your journey, and it is an exciting journey. I call it Toastmastering for me because it's part of my life. I learned from Damon and Doug, and even the interaction of the ladies here. It is a great opportunity to be here. Thank you. Take it away, Damon, or Carrie's coming back.
Again, Damon, Marcia, thank y'all so much. I don't know if Kari's coming back. If not, we've
I have
been well over.
questions. Can I ask some questions?
Oh, sure. Yeah, far away. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure how long this presentation was going to be. So I had blocked out the 2-hour span. So I apologize. I'm not trying to hold you up.
No.
And the other one left, the other person that was here. Quick question. Will it be a recording where we can send to our other team members? Or do you want to, or they're going to have to come another time you have it? And if so, will that next time be in this month? For the beginning.
There is going to be another meeting this month.
The beginning, how to get in.
Beginning part, no. We're going to have a slightly more advanced.
The next level. Okay.
So the next level. This one, I'm sure we recorded.
Okay.
Damon, did you record this or did Kari? Okay, Damon recorded it. He can give it to you. You can distribute freely.
Gotcha. Thank you. My second question is, Damon, you had pulled up the look at the level in more depth transcript or advisement sheet. And on that sheet is pre-change, and I don't know the date TI changed it, but before it was for first speech, second speech. That's what we all migrated into. recently, I want to say in the last 60 days, y'all can correct me on that. They updated level 1 to writing a speech with a purpose and intro, vocal variety and body gestures. So the unfortunate part is, as a base camp manager, I am unable to, and I wanted to, maybe that's going to be in your Douglas, in the training for VPEs, you went quickly and I was trying to write down notes and pay attention. I was unsuccessful. How you're able to look inside other people's pathways thingy, I want to know how to do that. So if hopefully that be in the next session. But just as a note that maybe the new people coming in will have the updated sheet, but it is not updated on the D44 website just as of yet. Just as a quick observation, just wanted to point that out. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, cool. So because if we start pointing people as I am, I wanted to make sure they download the correct information. If you could, I mean, I could put my email in the chat. You just give it to me. I have 3 people that I'm going to be sharing that with this weekend. So that would be great if you have access. If not, no worries. We'll get it the next time. The next question is, in the OCC, we could do 2 outside of the club projects and get credit. Like Ann, I think it was Ann, if I'm mistaken, I apologize, mentioned that she has a work project and that was Ann. Okay, sorry. And then she could use I believe it was innovative planning, if I'm not mistaken, to be better at whatever she's working on in her projects. So the question goes to, it was 10 speeches, 2 projects outside. So 8 in the club, 2 outside. What's the translation to pathways? How, do I have to do 2 levels? I get, is it 1 level and then I can do 1 credit outside at work on level 1, or do I have to get past 1? You know, what is the you know what the question I'm asking? Oh, good, because I'm trying to still get clear on that.
With pathways, you can do your projects outside with the approval of the VPE, but there has to be another Toastmaster, not necessarily in your club, that provides you the evaluation on your project. For example, as Damon had shown, there's a Q&A, question and answer elective. Frequently, you're doing that not necessarily within your club. You're doing that for your clients, or you're doing that at a convention or the new hires. So you're sitting down and leading a question and answer session. So you're giving a presentation, doing a question and answer session. As long as you have another Toastmaster, doesn't even have to be in your club, to give you that evaluation with the approval of prior approval of VPE, you can do a lot of your projects. There's no limit to what projects you can do outside.
So there's no longer a limitation on 2.
No longer a limitation.
Okay.
Now,
All right.
a lot of the projects
okay.
only can be done inside of Toastmasters meeting. At level 2, you're supposed to be a timer, be an odd counter and grammarian, be a Toastmaster. You're supposed to fill all the roles within a meeting.
No, not the leadership roles. I'm specific to the speaking roles.
Exactly. But I'm just saying you can't do level 2 without going to meetings. So you can't be an odd counter outside of.
Right. No, I'm not talking about the leadership roles. I'm talking about all speaking roles. Okay, thank you for that. Yeah. So the other question goes back to the advisement sheet. So instead of a replacement, because half of us in my club particularly has the old program, the other half has the new level 1. I'm saying the new levels. Are you able to add the new as of date, whatever, that includes the writing with a purpose and the vocal, and then leave the other one for speech set? Because it's not that it's irrelevant. It's just that some of us have that program, and then TI pushed in the new stuff for the new people joining. I want to say that's January, but I cannot recall. All right, so that's the request. The other question I have, I'm trying to be quick and read my chicken scratch at the sound. It's on mute. Okay, so the other question I have, oh So is Pathways Mentor Program locked down? It used to not be locked down. Is it locked down and it's gonna make me wait till I get to level 2, or I have to finish level 2? I gotta finish level 2?
You have to finish level 2, and then it will appear, there's no fanfare.
Right.
It will appear very quietly
Right.
as a potential option, as a potential curriculum
Mhm.
inside of your base camp.
Okay, cool.
And a lot of people don't necessarily know it. It only
Last question.
appears after level 2, and only the one time. If you're going through a second pathway, it won't appear again. And that mentorship
If you
program,
miss it,
it'll still be there.
okay, until you
But once you do it, you can only do it once.
got you.
Right.
And one suggestion as feedback, and that will be my closeout. So this was great for icebreaker and showing how to access the D44 website resources. As when you're converting from a guest to a new member and they're all excited and they come to their first meeting and we all stick them in that little all counter role just to give them something to do. Yeah. Would you include that and go through the base camp about me just to show them where to put that date?
Mine, I can share the screen, correct? Yeah, I'm gonna share my screen here.
In the icebreaker beginning
In-
unsigned session. Just that way you cover leadership and you cover speaking.
Let's see if
Just-
I can do it. No, I don't want to do that one. I want to do. Yeah, I will do it. Let's do this real quick here. Number 4. I gotta figure out screen share.
I think Ann may know already. I don't know.
So everyone can see that I've got the D44 website up. I'm gonna spool in real quick to Toastmasters. Log in very quickly. And it is, let's see if it's going through. Yes, there we are. Pathways, go to base camp. Now, as Vice President of Education, you can see this type of stuff if you're and President and if you're Secretary. Any of the officers cannot see this type of stuff, but we'll go through and I'll show you here. Let's see, St. Leo the Great Toastmasters, continue. I'm gonna log in as base camp manager. Up here in this right-hand corner, under the search bar, you're in as base camp manager. And Ann, this will be good for you to know, because someday you'll be the Vice President of Education. I can feel it, you'll know it. You can type any of your club members' names in here. So I'm gonna put in Shannon Krager, she's our club president. Here, I'm sort of looking at her base camp. So I can see her request for feedbacks. I can look at her paths and learning, and I can see her e-portfolio. So this is our president. Now down here is where you stick in those dates. That's when she's become a member. She hasn't been an all counter. She hasn't yet. And she hasn't been a timer yet. She hasn't been a table topics master yet that she's put in.
Now, just to clarify, the individual person will do this. They would put
this in.
We are not going to own that responsibility.
Correct. You don't own it.
That disempowers them.
Right. The club member is obligated to put that in and keep track of it. Now they don't have to necessarily put it in on this particular website. For example, most clubs use Free Toast Host. They have a club website that provides agendas and things like that. Easy Speak is another one like that. If you use the Free Toast Host, as they sign up for roles on the agenda, that keeps track of it for them.
Well,
so do you have Free Toast Host? Do you use?
Well, so the reason why this was important, maybe 2-3 years ago, it was important. Maybe It's not important anymore. However, it caused a hang up when moving from level 1 to 2 to 3, when these roles were not filled in. Because if you go back to level 1, the evaluation and feedback, you have to have this particular one. If you scoot down, that evaluator one filled in, speech
right.
evaluator, you need to have that filled in there. And topics master and Toastmaster, I believe at some point, all of them before level 4, the main ones. But it was causing a hang up when we didn't have that speech evaluator date filled in before we got to, I want to say that was finished level 1, but I think it was on level 3 is where we were getting the hang up and we weren't getting
Right.
our little check mark. So maybe y'all fixed it. So we don't
Can
use
I
Toast
interject?
Host anymore for that reason to track. We are all abiding and in compliance with just using pathways at this point.
And if I can interject real quick before my bandwidth goes down again, as you even stated earlier, what we definitely want to make sure that we're doing is encouraging self-discovery. We're encouraging growth. We're encouraging accountability. So if, like you said, the leaders, this is not their responsibility, it's Toastmasters' responsibility. That's why I love free Toast hosts. If you have free Toast hosts, you go in there yourself, you run a report for the roles, and then you go back over in here and fill it out. That's something that, in my opinion, would be in line with the committee or the individual that's bringing that Toastmaster onto their journey. I agree that some of these items should definitely be in the training for PATH.
His
Think his
bandwidth is
bandwidth-
down.
Yeah, I think his bandwidth went back. He'll be back in a second. Latanya, if you can see right here in this line, when you fulfill a meeting role, add the date and additional information section by visiting my account. Your club officers will use this information you provide here to confirm that you've met meeting role requirements. And I'm going to click on the meeting role requirements and it will grind and grunt. And there they are. Show more. And you can launch a little micro video that shows what the requirements are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I was just saying, like we're gonna do an icebreaker. I was just saying do the opposite side, which is the leadership side, as it's in the suggestion box.
Right.
Just show them where to put, let's say, for example, being the all counter and just update their pathway thinking.
Exactly, yeah. And here's a little known thing. The base camp manager has its own profile. So the president, vice president of education, and secretary all share the base camp manager profile. So the base camp manager can also put in dates. You can use that as a tool as needed. If you
Yeah,
need
but wouldn't that be for just the 3 of us as one representation?
just the three of you. So just
And
those 3 people, but each one of you can go in and modify this
Mhm.
or you can clear them.
But it wouldn't identify each individual towards
not. It would
credit
not.
towards their path is what I found.
Exactly, it would not. But that just gives you an idea of how base camp manager, how it's a separate
It's right. Gotcha.
shared and its job is to proctor.
Okay, cool. It was just a suggestion box thing.
Exactly, yeah. And I would like to see it improved. This goes back to the way Cornerstone On Demand delivers the particular Pathways product to us. They do it for all sorts of continuing education, government, corporate, et cetera, et cetera. And so it's sort of a one size fits all solution.
Yeah, no, I was just saying, like, when you're demonstrating this, how you do an icebreaker, like where you go into after you select your path, and Damon was showing, okay, now you want to do your icebreaker, to also show where to put that at least one leadership role. That's all. I'm just putting in the suggestion box in this particular beginning.
We will do that. We will do that in the future. That's very
Consideration.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, those are all my questions. Unless you want to show something else, I'm open to that. If Ann is,
no.
Well,
I'm just,
Ann gotta go, so
Yes.
I'm
Now
good.
I have a question.
yes.
So you were talking about free Toast Host.
Mhm.
Our club uses Turbo Base. Are they comparable? Are they different? What?
Let's take a look. I have never used Turbo Base. Has anyone else? Look at that.
Okay. Well, I think it's kludgy. I don't think that it is. It's certainly easy enough to work on, but it doesn't have a lot of bells and whistles. And I'm just looking at free toast, and I'm thinking that is a more robust way to manage your club.
Look at Marcia and Damon, they're shaking their heads. Yes, 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 yes.
Okay.
They're answering.
Absolutely, yes. My club uses it. As a matter of fact, I was just pulling a report. So it's so easy to enter the information. If a member forgets, you can provide a report so they could update pathways, for instance.
Okay.
So this is my club's, this is my home club. I'm not in the picture. I'm not sure why I wasn't there that day, but I can log in, and down here I'm gonna log in, and there'll be all sorts of things that we can do. Hang on here. And to what Latanya was asking, so on a meeting agenda coming up next Monday, she'll be the Toastmaster. I'm going to be giving a speech. He's going to be giving a speech. And we need more people to fill in as evaluators, timers, and all counters. So as they sign up, this will keep records of what members have signed up for which roles. So it's an easy way for the VPE to say, did this new member, they've completed level 2, have they done all the particular roles? I don't remember. I wasn't at all the meetings or something like that. And all that data is in here under let me see if I can find it here. Membership management file manager, I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it's all there.
Oh, I think this is much better than what we've got.
Right.
Okay, fabulous. This is a great thing to bring back to the club.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, you
And
just
it's
have
free.
the downside, Doug, is that the sign up is different than actually doing the role.
Right.
They'll get to the meeting like, I'm not doing that speech today. Can we switch? You know, and then you got to go back to this sign up sheet and fix it before
You're
you
right.
run it, or you're gonna mess up Marcia's report.
Right. Very, very much.
Okay. Okay, good. All right, well,
Good,
thank you very much. This has been very informative for me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go ahead and stop the recording real quickly before I get booted out again. But I wanted to make sure that those questions were on the recording. Also, keep in mind that Pathways is so robust that we are separating you. Oh, it's not recording mine. So, I'm not the host anymore.
Let me see if I can turn it off here. Oh, because you came back in. Hang on one second here.
Marcia is the host.
Is Marcia the host? Well, I think once he left, it would stop recording.
Okay,
Yeah. So
okay. Well, very good.
yeah,
Or did it stop recording when he left? And
I think it stopped recording when he left.
Okay, and it picked back up when he came back.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't think it would have picked back up. I think it just, he came in as just a non-host. So it would just completely end. And here's the other thing, and we can see our meeting agendas going back all the way to 2012 when they started using free Tostos. So it does keep a record for everything.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So this is going back a month to see, well, there's my lug. I was Toastmaster. Here was the general evaluator. So stuff like that. And
I think we use, I think we use this as our membership distribution list, but we don't
Right,
use the
right.
actual this thing anymore. We use it as a Google Doc sheet.
Yeah. All right,
Okay.
well, fantastic. I appreciate it very much. Damon, did you get, I think Latanya definitely needs the recording. You can get that to her, I trust. Fantastic. And Marcia, you're wonderful. I appreciate you so much being here.
Thank you.
We
And I
couldn't
learned
we couldn't do
along,
Pathways Champions without you,
Yes.
so you're critical.
I learned little tips here and there as well. So it's a lifelong learning situation.
It is.
So thanks. It's a pleasure being here. All right, best of luck, ladies.
Right,
All
thank
right.
you.
Very
Thank
much.
you
Have
all.
a good
Have a
evening.
All right, you
good
too.
night.
Y'all be safe.
All right, be good.